Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. My whole intro was supposed to go through, but it ended up going back to the screen, and then it ended up going back to the intro. I don't know why I did that. I have no clue. I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea what happened there. But anyways, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm IWN. This is your SmackDown and AEW Rampage November the 12th, 2022 review. Friday Night SmackDown was terrible outside of the war between the Bloodline and the Brawling Brutes, the Bray Wyatt LA Knight confrontation, and the return of the Viking Raiders and Sarah Logan. Everything else on this show was just not good. Did not pique my interest whatsoever. However, Rampage was a very, very good show this week. It did not surprise me. I would honestly say that Rampage was better than this week's Rampage was better than last week's episode of Rampage. Remember, last week, I took SmackDown and Dynamite over Rampage and Raw. Dynamite and SmackDown were the better shows last week, in my opinion. This week, Dynamite and Rampage, in my opinion, were the better shows. So if you don't like my opinion, you can kiss my black ass. I don't care. I don't care. If you don't like my opinion, go watch someone else. Go watch someone else. If you don't like what I do, if you don't like the content I produce on my YouTube channel, go watch someone else. I ain't got time for the negativity. I'm trying to be about positivity in my life. All these deaths in my family has completely hurt me in my entire life. This year and last year has been the worst years of my life, not to mention. But yeah, I'm pretty sure those of you that are subscribed to my channel, you knew I was going to say that SmackDown was terrible. Half of the people that were in my live chat didn't say shit about SmackDown. That's how you know SmackDown was not that important this week. Everybody in my live chat said that Rampage was great, and they didn't mention one thing about SmackDown last night. Everybody that was in my live chat. That right there's enough to tell you that SmackDown this week was not all that good. I see all these fucking fake podcasters and these fake journalists saying that SmackDown was great. Yeah, right. Give me a break. Did you not see that we was about to get one of the worst SmackDown women's matches on the fucking card? Did they not? Did any of these podcasters not pay attention to that shit? No, they're too busy paying attention to the matches that were actually great instead of paying attention to the matches that were god awful. All the matches on SmackDown did not pique my interest at all. The matches for next week's SmackDown, however, will. Now, I could see next week's SmackDown delivering. I got some news on what's booked for next week's SmackDown. I actually already went over that with you guys last night, but I'm going to give it out again just in case anybody didn't catch it. And right before the stream, there was 4 people in here, so where are my audience at? I'm here now. My audience should be in the live chat now. Everybody should be here now. I'm here, man. If you guys are new, man, subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. I need a lot of likes minimum on the stream. I don't need to see nobody lacking on liking the streams. We need those likes right now. Hit the like button on the stream. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Add me on Snapchat. Links to all my accounts are in the description below. And I'm gonna say this one last time. Hit that like button. Let's get a lot of likes minimum. No excuses. No excuses, no complaining in my live chat. And no calling me the F word and calling me asshole and shit. If I see some negative comments in my live chat, you are immediately getting booted. I'm telling you right now. I'm not putting up with that. I don't care who's watching the stream. You're getting immediately booted. Now, we are going to start with the SmackDown review, of course. SmackDown is first and then Rampage. That's how Friday nights go. So, SmackDown opened up with a WWE Crown Jewel video package. The SmackDown opening aired, and then Prywoo shot off on the stage. Michael Cole and Wayne Barrett were on commentary. I don't know if I didn't tell you guys this yet. I don't know if I told you this yet, but I also have your WWE and the AEW Saturday Night News. We're going to go over all of your WWE and AEW Saturday Night News. That includes news on Triple H, Andrade, The Undertaker. Yes, there's news on The Undertaker. Also news on Robert Roode again. There's news on Tiffany again, too. And plenty more. We're going to go over that right after both reviews, man. I can't wait to give you guys these important piece of news that I have coming out of my only sources that I have in the community, which are Ringside News. Michael Cole and Wayne Barrett were on commentary. Samantha Irvin was the ring announcer. Guys, let me know if I sound good or not. I want to know. Do I sound good or what? Let me know something. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso made their entrance. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa were shouting in Roman's dressing room. That the way it's being said, it kind of sounds weird. It kind of sounds weird. I'm just throwing it out there. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods made their entrance. We got Jimmy and Jey Uso versus The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. Two of the greatest tag teams in WWE history. Two of the greatest things of all time. Even though this match did not pique my interest whatsoever, it was great for what it was, but it was boring at the same time. Let me tell you why I say the match boring, because I've seen the match like 5-6 different times already. I don't know why they got to give us the same matches over and over. We need to start seeing new matches on SmackDown, Raw, and NXT instead of seeing the same old matches every week. We need to start seeing new stars being built up. We need to start seeing the rosters being fixed up. We need to start getting more better pay-per-views. We need to get more better shows. We need to be seeing better feuds and better storylines. I hate to it, but I have yet to see that. I have yet to see that. Feels like we're getting the same old storylines, same old matches every week. It seems like. I hope that's not the case. I hope to God that Triple H doesn't do what Vince and Bruce is doing. I hope he doesn't do what Vince and Bruce were doing, man. Because we know how ruined WWE was when Vince and Bruce were in charge. They ruined everything. They went from ruining the pay-per-views to terribly writing, producing Raw, SmackDown, NXT, WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, Crown Jewel. They ruined all the shows, all the brand shows, all the pay-per-views, man. They ruined all the talent as well. The young talent, not the old talent, the young talent. Now that Triple H is in charge, now a lot of changes have been made, and I'm glad. And I'm starting to see some changes, but I have yet to see new storylines and new stars being built. But you know what? We'll see that sooner rather than later. He's getting there. That's all I can say about that. He's getting there. He's got to make a few more changes before he can do that. We have seen some new matches on SmackDown and Raw. Not all of them were new, though. Triple H is on the right track. I've never said that Triple H is on the wrong track. He's on the right track. He knows what he's doing. I never, to the geeks in the community, to the geeks online that think, oh, so you're saying Triple H doesn't know what he's doing? No, I'm not saying that. Triple H knows what he's doing. I never said he didn't know what he's doing. Never said that. He knows what he's doing with SmackDown Raw. And I ain't gonna lie. Some of the Raw and SmackDown shows are decent some weeks. And some weeks, Raw and SmackDown NXT shows are not all that decent. Some weeks you get a good show. Some weeks you get a bad show. That's how it is. But we don't need to be seeing bad shows. We don't need to be getting terrible booking and terrible creatives and all that. We don't need to be seeing terrible writing and producing. And that is what Vince and Bruce gave us when they were in charge. I just want better professional wrestling. Simple as that. All right? I want better professional wrestling, I want to see better matches, better storylines, a better men's and women's roster. We all know the SmackDown Women's Division sucks. I take the AEW Women's Division over the SmackDown Women's Division. That's how sorry the SmackDown Women's Division is right now. Like, really? No, not even kidding. And we were about to get one of the worst. And speaking of women's division, we were about to get one of the worst women's singles matches of all time on SmackDown. We were about to legitimately get Zelina Vega versus B-Fab. And I'm going to go over that with you guys in a minute. I just want to say thank you, Viking Raiders, for coming in and butching and ruining that match. Nobody wanted to see it. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about Zelina Vega versus B-Fab. I don't know who the hell made this decision, this god-awful decision to put that match on the card, but that is not the match on the card, especially when Triple H is in charge. That is not the match you should be booking on the card. Wrong. You know where I get that from, right? You got where I got that from. It's one of those fucking sound, one of those instant button apps. No, but to be real, to be serious, that is not the kind of match you should be booking for a solid SmackDown show. Zelina Vega versus B-Fab, really? What? That was all you had to offer? And then they go on to book a stupid, useless 6-women contenders match, as if anybody fucking cared. I know I didn't. I was about to say, when I saw that match, as soon as I saw that match, you know what I was about to say? Channel changing. That's exactly what I was about to say. Channel changing. Oh, my God. And the worst of them all, we got Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal. Oh, my God. God, you want to talk about a god-awful match. You want to talk about one of the worst men's matches on SmackDown. Jinder Mahal versus Braun Strowman is definitely up there. That's the worst. That match was fucking sorry. That match was absolutely awful. I did not like it. The 4 things I didn't like on the show were all the matches that were booked. I didn't like any of them. I didn't even like Shinsuke Nakamura versus Santos Escobar. I didn't like that match either. None of those matches on this week's episode of SmackDown piqued my interest at all. The only things that piqued my interest, the only things that had me watching, the only things on SmackDown that legitimately had me watching was the war between the Bloodline and the Brawling Brutes, the Bray Wyatt LA Knight confrontation, and the Viking Raiders of Sarah Logan returning to one of what was about to be one of the worst SmackDown women's matches in SmackDown history. So I just want to say thank you to the Viking Raiders and Sarah Logan for ruining B-Fab versus Zelina Vega. And that match wasn't even going to deliver anyway. I'm sorry. B-Fab and Zelina Vega are not good in the ring at all. I'm sorry. They are awful in the ring. I'm glad that we didn't get that match. Despite the fact that Santos Escobar versus Shinsuke Nakamura match, even though that match didn't really pique my interest, I would honestly take that match over all the other 3 matches that were booked for SmackDown. Like, legitimately. Why would I not take the New Day versus Jimmy and Jey Uso over all the matches? Well, because I've seen it 5-6 different times. I'm getting tired of seeing that on television. I don't need New Day versus the Usos. No more of that. Please. I hope this is the last New Day versus Usos match. I hope. I hope to God it is. I'm tired of seeing that shit on my television. I'm sorry. I know I sound lame for saying that, but it's the truth. I'm just speaking truth, man. You could say I sound like a fat slob. You could say I sound like a fucking idiot, like an asshole, all you want. But that's just me speaking truth, man. I'm just being honest. I got to speak truth. I mean, I feel like at this point I know more than what I'm saying. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest here. I'm actually happy. I'm actually happy. And you want to know why? Let me tell you guys why I was happy this week. You want to know why I was happy this week? Because of the simple fact that I was right 6 different fucking times this week. And everybody that was in my chat for my SmackDown and Rampage watch along can tell you the exact same thing. Ask everybody that was in the chat last night and told them that I was right 6 different fucking times this week. It seems like I'm right every week now. It seems like I'm like my only favorite podcaster, JD, being when it comes to being right about shit in WWE and AEW. It seems like I am right every fucking week. Not the month, JD, tell the truth. It seems like I'm legit. I'm autistic. Can you believe I'm autistic and I'm still smart? Can you believe I'm autistic and I still know what's right and what's wrong? Can you believe it and I still talk the talk and walk the walk? Can you believe I'm autistic and I still know more about WWE and AEW than half of the people in the community? Can you believe that? But yet, every time I go live, my watch-alongs and reviews, I only get like 3-4 people watch. Why is that? Is it because I suck? Is it because I'm terrible at what I do on my channel? I mean, what is it? What is it, man? Am I not the perfect person to stream and produce wrestling content? I mean, I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's almost when I'm live for my watch-alongs reviews, it just doesn't pique none of the YouTubers' interests. It's almost like I'm a piece of shit to people that haven't subscribed to my channel, to people that's seen my stuff but haven't even commented or gave their reaction to it. It's almost like I'm a fucking complainer. Somebody that always complains every fucking week. I complain because I care about WWE. I complain because I care about all of the male and female talents on the AEW and WWE, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and the NXT men's rosters. I complain because if I see that something sucks, I'm going to point it out and I'm going to shit on it. If I see some terrible booking, if I see that WWE is produced and terribly produced and written SmackDown, Raw, and NXT and various of other shows and pay-per-views, I'm going to shit on it, man. Simple as that. Simple as that, man. Trust me when I tell you that I know more than what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be like these irrelevant, smart podcasters and people. I'm actually being right in my own way, in the creative, in the best, great creative way possible. I'm all about streaming and producing my own content, getting my own likes, viewers, and my own subscribers. As of right now, all of my content is streamed, made, and produced by me. Just me. Me only. I just don't understand why a lot of people don't see. I just don't understand why a lot of people, they'll go to YouTube, they'll see that I'm live by watching long reviews, and they won't even hit the like button. They won't even comment. Why do we have people like that on YouTube, man? I don't understand. Why do people act like that? People will look at my streams, my watch-alongs and reviews, they'll be like, oh, this guy's streams, this guy's reviews and watch-alongs are trash. Yada, 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 yada. I don't understand it. My channel's not even garbage. Yet we got this guy named Curvin, this troll coming in my chat saying wrestling is fake. Give me a break. Wrestling's not fake. It's real scripted. Freaking idiot. Man, we got some blithering idiots in the YouTube community, man. I tell you. People look at my shit and be like, nah, his watch-alongs and reviews ain't shit. His watch-alongs and reviews are fucking garbage. Fuck them, man. I ain't even... Fuck the haters, dude. I got my own IWN YouTube community fans and subscribers. Everybody that subscribes to my channel legitimately cares about the content that I produce and stream on YouTube. I'm dedicated to giving all my subscribers what they want to see and what they want to hear. That's what I'm all about. I'm not all about streaming someone else's content, copying someone else, saying what someone else is saying on their podcast. No. I'm sorry. That's not me. Subscribe to my channel, know who I am, content creator. Everybody that's not subscribed to my channel, that doesn't know who I am, by now as a YouTube content creator, I feel shamelessly sorry for you. That's all I got to say to that. Anyways, we got Jimmy and Jey Uso versus The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. By the way, the match was great, but I did not watch it because I've seen it 5-6 different times. I already said it on stream, and I can say it again. Irvin, the in-ring introductions for their title match. What is the good, Cam Man? Cole emphasized that the winner of the match would hold the record for longest tag team title reign in WWE history, which New Day held going into the match. We could have got the Brawling Brutes versus the New Day instead of the New Day versus the Usos. Easily, dude. Easily. Woods sent both Usos to the floor. Jey returned to the apron, and Woods hit him with a running knee. I understand why they didn't do New Day versus the Brawling Brutes, because they're both babyface tag teams. That makes sense. Seeing that I actually complained about the fact that they were booking heels versus heel matches. No, we need to be seeing babyface versus heel matches, not babyface versus babyface, heel versus heel dynamic. That shit doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all. Okay, so Woods sent both Usos to the floor. Now, check this out, guys. Jey returned to the apron, and Woods hit him with a running knee. Kingston went up top, to both Usos heading into a commercial break, and then the Usos took offensive control. Jey hit Kingston with a suicide dive. So then Cole spoke about the New Day title reigns and noted Big E's involvement, even though Big E wasn't on the show due to injury. The Usos isolated Kingston. The crowd chanted, "We want Sammy! We want Sammy!" No, not like that, but you know what I mean. Jey covered his ears, and then Jimmy barked that they wouldn't get Sammy. Kingston eventually kicked Jey away, dove for the tag, but Jimmy pulled Woods off the apron for some odd reason. Now, why did he do that? I don't know, but Jey performed a net break By the way, Jey Uso wrestling with an injury, in case anybody didn't know, in case anybody was unaware. Now, Jey performed a net breaker on Kingston and covered him for a near fall. So then this is what next. So then after that, Kingston performed a boom drop. He performed a boom drop on Jimmy. Kingston hit the SOS on Jimmy for another near fall. Ignore my phone. I had got a notification, and a very important notification. But anyways, as I was saying, Kingston showed frustration over not getting the pin. A short time later, the Usos hit double super kicks on Woods and Kingston, then hit Woods with another. I wish that dog outside would shut up. That my neighbor's dog. Oh, and by the way, I don't care whether there's people watching or not. I'm going to continue to review anyway, whether people like it or not. Woods took out Jey with a side Russian leg sweep. Woods put Jimmy down with a gutbuster and covered him for a 2 count. Kingston tagged in. Woods performed a double stomp on Jimmy, and then Kingston covered him for a good near fall. Kingston performed a bull drop on Jimmy. Kingston hit an SOS on Jimmy for another near fall. Then Kofi Kingston showed frustration over not getting the pin. A short time later, the Usos hit double super kicks, basically, on Woods and Kingston. Then hit Woods with another. The Usos went to opposite corners and hit a double splash on Woods. Jey covered Woods for a great near fall. My eyes is really, they're really itchy today. They feel really weird. I'm not lying, y'all. They really do. But the Usos set up for a 1D, but Kingston pulled Jey out of the ring and ran him into the ring steps. Woods clotheslined Jimmy over the top rope. Kingston held Jey over his knee, and then Woods leaped from the second rope, hit Jey with a move. So then Woods returned to the ring and DDT's Jimmy. Kingston tagged in and hit the midnight hour on Jimmy, but Jey returned to the ring and broke up the pin. And these fucking tacos that I'm eating are good as fuck. I ain't joking. The teams. I thought it said teams. Met in the middle of the ring, and all 4 men traded punches. So then after that, Woods and Jey ended up at ringside. Jey hit Woods with a pair of super kicks that sent Woods into the timekeeper's area. Jimmy caught Kingston with a punch on the ropes. Jey returned and tagged in. The Usos they actually went to the ropes, that's what I was trying to say, for a move, but Kingston fought them off. Kingston leaped from the ropes into 1D from the Usos, and then Jey covered him for a pin. And voila, that was it. Shit, man. Cole said the Usos will become the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history on Monday. Reigns, Heyman, and Sikoa. Woo! Woo, Samu! Woo, Samu! Was shown watching from backstage. Both teams stayed. Woods made a mean face while the Usos acknowledged the New Day duo with a head nod. Cole hyped the SmackDown World Cup tournament last night. A graphic showed Mustafa Ali, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, stupid, woo-hee, Braun Strowman, Jinder Mahal, Sami Zayn, Butch, and Santos Escobar as the entrance in the tournament, which Cole said would start after the break. So then, head this out. After that, after the entrances in the tournament, we got Cole saying that the tournament would start after the break. A Survivor Series War Games ad aired. So here's my thoughts on Jimmy and Jey Uso versus the New Day. It was a match that lived up to my high expectations. The creative forces did a good job of setting the stage for a match, but let's be honest, nobody asked for this match. I mean, I can tell you right now, the majority community did not ask for this match at all. I didn't see not one person say that they asked for WWE to book this match. I did not see one person on YouTube or Twitter that said, we want the New Day versus the Usos. This was a match. This was a decision to book the match. Decision was made by WWE to book the match. Now, the creative forces did a good job of setting up the stage for the match by having the broadcast teams for both shows drive home how close the Usos were in the New Day record. Now, I love that the match opened the show, even though nobody asked for the match. So you know what I did? I continued to go over the WWE and AEW Friday night news with you guys instead of watching the Usos versus the New Day, because I'd rather do that than watch that match that I done seen 5-6 different times already. I hope this is their last match. I hope they don't book another New Day and Usos match again. We need new tag team matches. We don't need to be seeing the same old 2-on-2 tag team matches from two of the same teams every fucking week. Now, there was no looking at the clock to get a rough idea of basically when the match would end, which made it more suspenseful. Says some of the geeks online. Says some of these fake podcasters and journalists online. WWE Crown Jewel still shoots air. Mike Go hyped Fox's college football coverage. I didn't care about that either whatsoever. I didn't care to hear that either. Given that I'm not a football fan and I don't watch football. I used to be a Panthers fan. I used to be a Tar Heels fan. Now I don't watch that shit anymore. The Usos returned to Roman Reigns' dressing room. The Usos were excited and asked Roman what he thought. Roman remained expressionless as he stood up. Something is in my right eye. Something is bothering my eye. But then said it feels good. Reigns told the Usos that this is what it feels like to be the greatest of all time. This is the promised land right here. Roman said he added that he had some things to handle and said he would need the Usos pretty much by his side later in the show. So Reigns hugged his cousins. Yet after that, the broadcast team spoke about the SmackDown World Cup tournament. The trophy was shown at ringside, and Cole reminded viewers that the winner would also get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. Now, entrances for the first tournament match took place. You got Santos was Selena Vega, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wild versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Let's be honest, Santos Escobar did not need any of his members of Legado Fantasma at ringside. We should have got the actual Santos Escobar versus Shinsuke Nakamura without any interference. Remember two of the matches that were booked from Rampage? Yeah, both matches had interferences. I wish they would cut the shit with these interferences, man. I really do. I'm tired of seeing that on television. That is another thing I'm tired of seeing. Interferences. Why do we need that? Why? Can we just have straight up singles tag team matches without any interferences, man? Like, really? Cut it out with that. A pre-tape promo aired with Escobar saying he wasn't just representing Mexico. He was going to Nakamura how they deal with reckless people where he comes from. Cole noted that Nakamura would face Great Muta as part of Muta's retirement tour in Japan on New Year's Day. Yeah, I'm gonna be live with a stream on New Year's Day. I just don't know what it's gonna be yet. I may have to work on New Year's Day though. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. See what's in store that day. Hopefully I'll be off and I won't have to work. I might just take New Year's off, to be honest. Nakamura was in offensive control heading into an early break. Nakamura remained in offensive control and set up for his finisher. But Wild dragged Escobar to the floor while Vega distracted the referee. Nakamura drop-kicked Del Toro and then threw Escobar back inside the ring. Del Toro leaped off the ring steps and was caught with a Nakamura knee. Back in the ring, Escobar took control, performed a Phantom Driver from the top rope to pretty much score the pin. After the match, Legado del Fantasma celebrated inside the ring. So when they did that, a graphic actually listed Escobar facing someone else in the semifinals. Who could that be? I don't know. We'll have to find out next week. On next week's episode of SmackDown. Cole set up a Veterans Day video package. The live crowd responded with applause and a USA chant. Oh, so that explains why Ashanti Adonis and Lacey Evans were on SmackDown because of Veterans Day. Well, that explains why Lacey Evans was on SmackDown because of Veterans Day. Because, Lacey Evans hasn't really been on TV for the last, I'd say, maybe 3 weeks or a month or so. I mean, nobody gives a shit about Lacey Evans. Excuse my language, YouTube. I'm sorry, but I wanted to say it the way I wanted to. Saying it in a truthful, possible way. Not saying it in a negative way. Nobody cares about Lacey Evans. Nobody's a fan of Lacey Evans at all. Nobody. If you are a fan of Lacey Evans, my God, you gotta be a complete idiot. You gotta be a complete idiot, dude. If you're a fan of Lacey Evans. And my God, I feel sorry for you. I feel terribly sorry for you. Especially if you're a fan of Braun Strowman. I most defiantly am going to feel sorry for you. Honestly. Not saying it in a rude way. Being truthful. Just throwing it out there. All right? Liv Morgan made her entrance. Cole said they would hold the 20th annual tribute to the troops next month. The show is reportedly being taped. It was reportedly taped last night, which I got some news on the spoiler results on the tribute to the troops pay-per-view. We're going to go over that later on the show here. Cole said the six-pack challenge will be up next. An ad for Raw hyped The Miz addressing Johnny Gargano's accusations on Miz TV. If my eyes don't stop bothering me within the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna have to pause this, take a break, go to the bathroom, and try to straighten my eyes out. Straighten my eyelashes out. They're bothering me too much. It's probably my nerves or my OCD, maybe. There was an ad for Raw hyping The Miz addressing Johnny Gargano's accusations on Miz TV, plus U.S. champion Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor in an apparent non-title match. So that is what's booked for Monday Night Raw. Oh, Matt Riddle and Elias versus the Alpha Academy is also booked for next week's episode of Monday Night Raw. So that's what's booked for that show. Now, first off, thank you to our military veterans on this day and every day. The match, it wasn't really all that bad. But at the end of the day, I could have really done without all the interference. I am tired of seeing interferences on TV every week. Tired of seeing this person coming to interfere, or this other superstar coming to interfere, or that other superstar coming to interfere. Enough is enough with that. Seriously. We don't need that. I mean, let's be honest. WWE Friday SmackDown hasn't even established Escobar on SmackDown as a guy who can win without help. And perhaps that would change during the tournament. Either way, I'm never, ever a fan of a tournament starting without the brackets being announced. You guys know there was no fucking brackets. They didn't show no brackets at all. None. Meanwhile, AEW actually showed their AEW Full Gear Eliminator Tournament bracket, right? So why can't WWE show theirs? I don't get it, man. I don't get it, man. I want to say this shit sucks so bad, but I don't. I don't. Now, here is something on SmackDown that didn't suck. The Bray Wyatt LA Knight confrontation. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching that. It was weird, but I enjoyed watching it. A graphic taunted this year's crown jewel as being the most watched Saudi Arabia WWE event in history. Meanwhile, also noting that it doubled last year's viewership. What is y'all's thoughts on that? Let me know, man. Cole hyped Roman Reigns and the Bloodline in a special moment for later on in the show. That was another one of the best things on SmackDown, in my honest opinion. So SmackDown was not only terrible, but it was great too. There were 3 things I enjoyed about SmackDown. There were 4 things I didn't enjoy watching on SmackDown. And I already told you all those things. Now, Becky Morant interviewed LA Knight. On the interview set, Knight complained about not being in the SmackDown World Cup tournament, just like I complained about the interferences that I was getting tired of seeing on my television, just like I complained about them not letting go Braun Strowman and Omos because they are one of the worst wrestlers, 2 of the worst wrestlers in old WWE. Just like I complained about the fact that Jamie Hayter should have been the one to win that AEW Interwomen's Champion instead of Toni Storm. Just like I complained about the fact that it should be Kayla Rossi dethroning Jade Cargill to win the TBS Women's Champion. Just like I complained about the fact that Vince and Bruce ruined Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all the other pay-per-views and all the other shows when they were in charge. Just like I complained about the fact that Vince and Bruce released 200 plus talent for absolutely no reason. Oh, because they didn't have no plans for any of them. Oh, because budget cuts. Yeah, right. Give me a break. You freaking serious with this crap? Yeah, right. It was more. Oh, sure, it was budget cuts. Oh, it was budget cuts, all right. It was budget cuts, all right, man. Yeah, sure. Sure thing. Sure thing, Vince and Bruce. Sure thing it was budget cuts. Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, we not believing that 1 second. You ain't about to make me believe that for 1 second. I ain't falling for it. Nah. I'm glad Vince is retired. Bruce is still in WWE. Bruce somehow is still making changes of his own in the shadows. Somehow. I don't know. I don't know how, but somehow he is still there making changes, trying to mess up Triple H's run as head of creative. I wouldn't be surprised if that news comes up. When is Bruce going to get fired? He needs to get fired now. We need a new film director. Kevin Dunn needs to go too. We need a new film director. Stop taking pictures of Finn Balor's crotch, Kevin Dunn. You freaking sicko, psychopath, and idiot. Anyways. Knight noticed that Morant was looking at the monitor behind him, which flickered with the Bray Wyatt logo. Knight complained to someone off camera. It was hour 2 of SmackDown, and Bray Wyatt was standing there, legitimately standing there like a statue, just staring a hole through LA Knight, where Morant had been previously when Knight turned around. Wyatt said he could see the anger brewing inside Knight and said he feels the same. He said people told him that the rage inside him would make him a monster. Oh, by the way, I just want to say cheers to another Saturday night for you guys. Anyways. He said people have told him that the rage inside him would make him a monster. Wyatt recalled saying that he's not proud of the things that he does. Why isn't he not proud of the things that he does? We, as wrestling fans, are proud of the things that he's doing. We love what Bray Wyatt's doing. Bray Wyatt is one of the greatest creative minds in all WWE, man. I mean, how can anybody not like what he's doing? If you don't like what he's doing, then you got an IQ of a fucking pencil written all over you. You don't like what he's doing, then legitimately you got screws in your head. Either you are mentally dumb or just completely stupid. Now, Wyatt recalled saying he's not proud of the things that he does. But he laughed and said he's not sure how true that is anymore. Wyatt said he knows what it takes. Get respect. Wyatt asked Knight how far he was willing to go. Knight said it was none of Wyatt's business. Knight told Wyatt to go back to his romper room, playing with his puppets and stick them anywhere that gives him pleasure. I know what I was getting ready to say, man. I sound like a robot, repeatedly repeating myself. But anyway, I know what Knight was trying to say, dude. He was trying to say, why don't you take your puppets and shove it straight up your... That's what he wanted to say. That's what he wanted to say, man. I'm not joking. That's what he wanted to say. For real, legitimately. I had to laugh at that. Man, that was hilarious. The monitor flickered with Wyatt imagery again. Wyatt headbutted Knight before Knight could say his name. I thought it was going to say before Knight could even stand. Oh, well. Wyatt walked away. Knight stood up and wondered where he went. Shotzi made her tank entrance. And then Raquel Rodriguez made her entrance while the other six-pack challenge participants were inside the ring. Talk about Shotzi Blackheart's tank. Let's talk about how the AEW Dark rankings. Let's talk about how gone the AEW ranks are. There are no AEW. You want to talk about a tank? There are no AEW ranks anymore in AEW. What happened? Whatever happened to the AEW ranks, man? Whatever happened, dude? Whatever happened? Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here like Frank, like, man, Jesus Christ, dude. What is this promotion doing? I don't know, man. Yeah, Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Shotzi Blackheart versus Sonya Deville versus Lacey Evans versus Xia Li for a shot at the SmackDown Women's title. Said the winner would challenge Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. The match quickly spilled over to ringside. Excuse me if I sound like a force in a donkey snoring. Morgan set up the bottom of the ring steps next to the broadcast table. Deville tripped Morgan, who fell face first onto the steps. Shotzi with kicks, and then up top. Rodriguez returned to the ring. Oh, smiling Raquel, by the way. She cut off Lee. Evans went for a Tower of Doom spot. Dot, 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 dot. But Shotzi took out Evans. Rodriguez reflects on Lee, almost as if Lee had actually had a thought at ringside watching her. Nah, I'm being funny. Deville covered Lee for a 2 count. Covered Shotzi for 2. She would have covered Lacey Evans for 2, but Lacey Evans was on the floor, on the right side of the ring. Rodriguez powerbomb Lee and actually had her pinned. Deville pulled Rodriguez off from the floor. Deville tried to steal pin, but Rodriguez stopped her. Rodriguez set up Deville for a powerbomb. And guess what happened next? Guess what happened next when Deville set up a powerbomb? When she went for when Rodriguez set up Deville for a powerbomb from the bottom piece of the ring steps at ringside. Guess what happened after that? Morgan leaped from the barricade onto Rodriguez in the ring. I'm sitting up here smashing my cup. One of those Kool-Aid splashing on my face. Jesus Christ, my face would be sticky faster than a roach can run, dude. Shotzi put Evans down with a never wake up DDT and scored the pin. The crowd was flat. Yeah, I don't know, man. The crowd sounded loud to me, though. I'm talking about as far as the other things that happened this week goes. Now, we would have got a different reaction. We would have got a different reaction from the fans. But for real though, man, the crowd was really, really, really flat. Like this flat. Like this flat. That flat. That's how flat the fans were, man. And you know what? It's hard to blame them given how this felt, given how god-awful this SmackDown Women's 6-pack challenge match was. it looked like the plan was for Morgan's dive to put Rodriguez through a table on the floor. But it didn't go as planned. I told you guys, Morgan, something told me that Morgan was going to get up on her feet now that she had saw Rodriguez setting up the table. I said, I wonder if Morgan sees Rodriguez setting up the table. And sure enough, Morgan pops up right on the right side of my screen last night, jumping all over Rodriguez. I was right again. I had that feeling that she was watching her setting up that table. I had that feeling. And my feelings came true. My gut feeling came true. Shotzi winning out of nowhere sets up what feels like a predictable outcome, if you will, for Survivor Series. Even so, I'm sure there are other people in the IWC community over on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are curious to see what type of match she and Ronda Rousey can produce. I would rather see Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler on my TV than Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal. That's how terrible that match was. And we're actually going to go over that match here in a bit. Now, hopefully, the booking of the women proves so that it feels like wrestlers are climbing the ladder. Not just winning multi-women matches to earn title shots after title shots after title shots. I mean, come on. No, we don't want not that part. Cole hype Fox's NFL coverage and taunted the Dallas Cowboys versus Green Bay Packers as a game for the ages. This is not football. This is pro wrestling. Why are they mentioning football on a pro wrestling show? Really? Do we need to hear all that? I'm just saying. Jesus Christ, dude. Shotzi was shown celebrating backstage when Emma showed up and congratulated her. Shotzi praised Emma for taking Drowsy limit. Emma said they should talk. I bet Ronda Rousey likes when I call her drowsy. It probably makes her laugh. I wanted to make her laugh. That's why I say it all the time like that. Now, Emma said they should talk. Emma asked if Shotzi had seen Madcap Moss. As you know, they're dating in real life. Emma and Madcap Moss are. Shotzi asked her if she was crushing. Once Emma walked away, Shayna Baszler showed up and told Shotzi about the damage that Rousey would do to her. Shotzi said Rousey had never been in the ring with someone like her. That is absolutely true. Shotzi said she belongs here and will prove it. Baszler said Shotzi had a lot to say to Rousey and then told her to turn around and say it to her face. I'm going to have to make this fast because my battery is on 32%. Shotzi turned around. Rousey was there. Baszler put Shotzi in a choke hold until she faded out. Should have charged the damn laptop earlier, man. My goodness. Rousey laughed and said, clean up on Aisel Green. I don't know what the hell that is. Before walking away with Baszler. Ricochet was interviewed by Kayla Braxton on the backstage interview set. She noted that Ricochet will be facing Mustafa Ali in the first round match next week. Next week's SmackDown is going to be great. It's going to be better than this week's episode of SmackDown, I'll tell you that much. Ricochet spoke about how talented and hungry Ali is. Gunther, Louis Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci showed up. Gunther told Ricochet to fight with all his, basically, heart. Still Ricochet to fight with all his heart because he would love to beat him again. Man, that sounds cold coming from Walter, man. Cole set up a video package on Braun Strowman. Strowman Express beating Omos at Crown Jewel, which was one of the worst matches on the Crown Jewel card. Cole hyped that Braun Strowman would be in action in a World Cup tournament match after the break. That match was even than Braun Strowman versus Omos. The break to you guys. A sponsored video package recap: Drew McIntyre beating Karrion Kross in a steel cage match at Crown Jewel. Drew McIntyre is so lucky, man. Very, very lucky, man. Kross would have had him beaten. To this day, I still believe Kross would have had Drew McIntyre defeated some way, somehow. That's just me. Jinder Mahal was shown standing at ring looking at the SmackDown World Cup. Mahal cut a unimportant promo that nobody wanted to hear from the floor and said the greatest WWE champion of all time was back. No, you're not the greatest WWE champion of all time. I'm sorry. I'm shutting that down real quick. Now, that's an L. That's an L. Now, you're not. No, you're not. The fans booed. He said he missed them too. Mahal said there was no man who could stop him from winning the tournament and the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, right. You hearing this guy? You guys see what Jinder Mahal said on SmackDown last night? God, I instantly almost had a laugh at this fucking god-awful, useless promo from Jinder Mahal. Braun Strowman made his entrance. Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal in a SmackDown World Cup tournament match. Didn't pique my interest. You know what I said, changing? Mahal attacked Strowman for the bell. Strowman railed. He routed, performed his running shoulder block on Mahal at ringside. In the ring, Strowman clotheslined Mahal in the corner and then powerbombed him in the middle of the ring before pinning him. That's all Strowman can do. That's all he can do. Attack people. Do his powerful running shoulder block. And clothesline Mahal. Clothesline people in the corner and powerbomb him. Is that all Braun Strowman can do? Power bombs, clotheslines, and running shoulder blocks? We've seen Braun Strowman do that every single week. That is all Braun Strowman's been doing. He has not done any new moves in the ring since his return to WWE. Post to you right there about floppy and complete, utterly trash Braun Strowman is in the ring. I'm sorry. That's just me. So Cole said Strowman would compete in a semi-final match in 2 weeks on SmackDown. Now, the graphics listed Strowman as facing someone in the second round. Now, Cole hyped the Roman Reigns special announcement for later in the show. Cole hyped the Roman Reigns special announcement for later in the show, and then, well, all I can say is this match between Braun Strowman and Jinder Mahal was not it. This was terrible. One of the other worst matches booked for SmackDown. Terrible, terrible, lazy booking by WWE, booking this useless waste of time World Cup match between Braun Strowman and Jinder Mahal. Nobody gave us a shit about this match whatsoever. Everybody, every single person told me that the match was awful. Every single person that I'm friends with in the IWC community, they told me they did not like the match at all. It was not good. It was not good, and I can fully agree. It wasn't. You got these geeks online. Oh well, at least they kept the predictable match brief. Give me a break. This match would bring the SmackDown ratings down faster than you can fucking blink. I'm not even. No joke. No shit. Crown Jewel still shoots were shown. Crown Jewel shots were shown. Co-hype WWE Survivor Series War Games. We got Selena Vega, Cruz del Toro, and Joe Queen in the ring. B-Fab made her entrance with Top Dollar, Shotzi Adonis. Another one of the worst matches on this week's episode of SmackDown. Jesus Christ. We were about to get one of the worst SmackDown Women's matches of all time. And right when we was about to get that match, which thank God we didn't get it. Thank God. Holy shit, man. That match would have been absolutely terrible. The fans would be straight up booing both B-Fab and Selena Vega just because they are awful at what they do in the ring. The Viking Raiders entrance music played. Sarah Logan appeared on the stage and they played audio of her saying, Valhalla is here. Eric and Ivar attacked both teams at ringside. This was one of the best things on SmackDown. The returns of Ivar and Sarah Logan. This easily scrapped the Selena Vega B-Fab's women's singles match, which I'm glad they did not produce. I'm glad it was booked, but I'm glad it didn't happen. Holy shit, man. I would have picked up the remote and changed the channel faster than Cheetah can run, dude. Oh my God, that match was about to be terrible. Oh my God, bro. Trust me. When I see terrible, I know it's terrible. When I see a terrible match on the show, I'm going to shit on it. That's just the way it is. I know terrible when I see it. Trust me. Trust me, y'all. Trust and believe me, man. So, Vega hopped the barricade to avoid Logan, as if she knew Logan was returning to SmackDown. Ivar performed a top rope splash on Adonis. Eric and Ivar hoisted up Top Dollar and slammed him to the mat. Logan brought B-Fab in the ring. B-Fab tried to fight Logan. Apparently, I'm guessing B-Fab knew that Sarah Logan was coming back too because she fought her back. She fought Logan back. Apparently, she knows what Sarah Logan's capable of. Who popped her up and put her down with a headbutt. It's very, very, very good, very, very great, very, very ironic and fantastic to see Ivar back from injury and Logan officially back after being released by the company in April of 2020. Logan has been the sides of her head shaved and is wearing black makeup over half of her face and head. It's not identical, but Logan's look is similar to that of independent wrestler Max the Impaler. Yes, I recognize Max the Impaler. I've seen her matches on Dark and Elevation. Yes, I know who that is. She teams up with that other woman that has makeup just like her. That other big woman that she be teaming up with. I forgot her name. If you guys can actually mention her name in the live chat, that'd be nice, because I don't even remember. Clips aired of Roman Reigns beating Logan Paul at WWE Crown Jewel. The Bloodline Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Jimmy, Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa made their entrance. Mustafa Ali versus Ricochet and Butch versus Sami Zayn in SmackDown World Cup tournament matches. Shotzi Blair versus Baszler were for next SmackDown, but I got some news on that, so I'm still gonna get you guys after the Rampage and SmackDown review, or should I say SmackDown Rampage review? I said it back. Alex. The Bloodline stood in the ring. An Uzi chant broke out. Reigns cut it off by having Indianapolis acknowledge him. I knew it. I knew that was coming. I knew that was going to come out of his mouth. I knew it. I knew it. I just knew it, dude. I knew it. Heyman spoke about how he and Reigns were talking on the private jet on their way to this hellhole. The fans booed loudly. All they said was hellhole. Why would they boo over that? That's pity, man, booing over the fact that they're saying hellhole. Jesus Christ, that's pity, booing that. The screen went black, so something may have been censored. I don't know. Heyman told the crowd that it wasn't very Uzi of them. Heyman actually spoke about great sports rivalries and said the Usos versus New Day is not one of them because the New Day can't compare to the Usos. Reigns had Heyman pass him the mic. This was easily another one of the best things on SmackDown. I enjoyed this. Reigns said it's not easy being his cousin because everyone has acknowledged his greatness throughout his entire life. Reigns said he never thought this moment would come. Reigns was interrupted when he tried to address the Usos. Rich Holland and Butch made their entrance. Holland said it was fight night, and they brought back Sheamus. Sheamus walked up and spoke on the stage. His mic was actually cutting out. Sheamus said tonight is the beginning of the end of the bloodline. I wonder if Sami Zayn was the one that cut Sheamus's mic out or not. But they said Sami wasn't there due to personal issues. What if Sami Zayn actually lied? What if he was actually the one that cut Sheamus's mic off? What if he actually lied just to be there to cut his mic off? I don't know, man. That's just me. I'm just guessing. Now, Sheamus said tonight is the beginning of the end for the bloodline. The brawl was last night, by the way. It wasn't tonight. It was last night. Because last night was SmackDown Rampage. Reigns laughed and said Sheamus couldn't even get the mic to work. Sheamus said he had no problem saying it to his face. The Brawling Brutes entered the ring and were quickly outnumbered by the Bloodline. Drew McIntyre, I knew it. I said, something tells me Drew McIntyre is coming out. And sure enough, I said it on the Friday Night SmackDown AEW Rampage watch along last night. If you guys were in the chat, I said it in the chat. I said it in the stream yesterday night. I said, watch. Something tells me Drew McIntyre is coming out. Next thing you know, his music hits and he comes out. Right again is IWN, man. Right again. Right again a sixth time. Drew McIntyre made his entrance and took out Jimmy on his way to the ring and headbutted Jay once he was inside it. Sikoa stepped up. McIntyre put him down with a clothesline. Reigns blasted. I think he was blasted with a big boot by Drew McIntyre. Am I right? Wasn't he blasted by Drew McIntyre? Yeah, I think, yeah, he pretty much was. Yeah, he was. You know what? I'm going to say he was. And then threw punches at him. McIntyre actually pulled him off and threw punches at Reigns. The two groups continued to brawl to close the show. Then, that was it. That was it, guys. I guess we may never know what Roman's special announcement was going to be, but it appears we know 8 of the 10 wrestlers will compete in the men's War Games. Sami Zayn will be the final member of the Bloodline. And it remains to be seen who will be joining McIntyre and the Brawling Brutes. It should be Kevin Owens. It should not be no Wayne Barrett. Wayne Barrett is filling in for Pat McAfee, so it wouldn't make sense for Wayne Barrett to be the 5th member. Now, if he was to become the 5th member, it would probably be United Kingdom versus the Bloodline. What if I tell you we get a international? What if I tell you we get all 5 international superstars versus the Bloodline? That would be great. All 5 international superstars versus the Bloodline. I mentioned this to one of the wrestling YouTube content creators earlier today. I told him, I said, what if we get all 5 international superstars versus Roman Reigns? All the 5 international superstars, which would be the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Pete Dunne, Rich Holland, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens. Given that Kevin Owens is from Canada, Drew McIntyre is from Scottish. He's from the UK, but he's from Scottish. He's Scottish. Sheamus is from the country of Ireland. I think he's from Ireland or something like that. Pete Dunne's from the UK, and Rich Holland, I think he's American. But I think he was born in the UK. I'm not so sure. Hold on. Let's look up these fucking names real quick. I think Drew McIntyre is absolutely from Scotland. I'm pretty sure he is. He's got to be. He's got to be, dude. I know I'm right. Watch it say Scotland. What? Bam, told you. It says Scotland. I'm right. IWN right again, bro. It said Scotland. Scotland. Drew McIntyre. Right when I looked him up, it said Scotland. I knew I was freaking right, dude. But at the same time, I kind of wasn't sure. You know what I mean? I kind of wasn't sure. Now, let's look up Sheamus. See where he's from. I think he's from Ireland. Sheamus is. He's from Ireland. From Ireland, isn't he? Let's go to Wikipedia and see. He's from Ireland. Let's find out. He's got to be from Ireland, dude. He has to be from Ireland. If he's not, if it does, yep, Ireland. I was right. Ireland. Oh man, and Pete Dunne, he's from the UK. Let's look up Pete Dunne and see if it says he's from the UK or not. Let's see him from right a third time. Birmingham, England. That's the UK. United Kingdom. Oh man, I'm right again, bro. Oh my goodness. Man, it feels great to be right again, man. It really does. It really does. I assume Rich Holland is either also from the UK or from America. Okay, let's look at Rich Holland. Where is Rich Holland? Oh my God. Dude, I'm right again. He was born in the UK. I was right again. Oh my God. I was right again, dude. Unbelievable. It would only make sense for Kevin Owens to be on that team because he's from Canada. Sami Zayn is from Canada. I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind seeing a Canadian versus Canadian, right? Canadian professional wrestler versus Canadian professional wrestler. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense because then after Survivor Series, the Bloodline would turn, I think, or after the 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, or that, or after Survivor Series, we can see the Bloodline turning on Sami Zayn, and we can get the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the Usos feud. Next feud going forward for those SmackDown and Raw Tag Team Champions. That's going to be great. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens feuding with the Usos. I don't mind seeing that. Even JD mentioned this on his podcast, on the SmackDown review. He said, we're going to get Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens feuding with the Usos. That's a great idea. That is something I would like to see as well, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens after Survivor Series, man. We'll see. We'll have to see, man. I can't wait for Survivor Series. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Nonetheless, it was terrible because all the matches were not good. B, the matches were not booked right. And C, the matches were not produced right. All the matches were terrible. They were terrible, man. I didn't like them. I didn't like the matches at all. That's the only terrible thing about SmackDown was the matches. All the matches were terrible. Yep, that's true. All these were terrible. Now, the good thing about SmackDown, the three good things that I love about SmackDown was A, the bloodline going to war with the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre in the ring, setting up the 5-on-5 men's war game match. B, the Bray Wyatt and LA Knight face-to-face. C. Most importantly, C, which is the return of the Viking Raiders and Sarah Logan. That's three things I like about SmackDown. Overall, SmackDown was tells of the matches. I feel like the matches ruined the vibe of this week's episode of SmackDown. That's why I say this week's episode of SmackDown was terrible and weak. The matches, they should have been booked instead of booking matches that were terribly booked. SmackDown bad and good at the same time. I just explained to you why it was good, it was bad. I'm not going to explain it again. I'm moving on to the AEW Rampage review. Now, on the other hand, speaking of the Rampage, AEW, on the other hand, Rampage was fantastic. But the only bad thing about Rampage was, again, the interferences. We saw that on SmackDown, on Rampage. The interferences was the only bad thing. Everything else on Rampage was great. Was absolutely the more decent Rampage of all time, man. This was easy. I'd say one of the best Rampage episodes got in a long time. I'm going to say it like that. I was getting ready to say it in a new way, but I couldn't think of a new way to say it, so I said it that way instead. But believe it or not, folks, in a serious way, I'm not laughing. For real, this was one of the best Rampage episodes that we've not in a while. Like, we generally do. Now, the two best things were Orange Cassidy versus BJ and Deville versus matches. Great television, right? Good. I enjoyed it. It was not boring. It was great. We saw Hurricane Rose. We saw clotheslines. We saw, or not Butch, but Rush and Bandido during their diving moves, doing their thing as usual. Butch doing his thing that he, all that kind of shit. But let's go ahead and review AEW Rampage because shit. Something came up my throat, man. I couldn't even finish talking. I wasn't even finished talking, and something came up my throat. As soon as I said, let's go over, something just came right up in my throat, man. Well, it felt like something came up my throat. Anyway. What was I saying, guys? What was I? Where was I, man? Oh. Now that I have reviewed Friday Night SmackDown for this week, now I can go ahead and review AEW Rampage and go over what you guys will down on that show. Hope everybody from last night that was in the live chat are in here for this one. This is going to be a great Rampage review. I'm going to make sure I make it great. Make you guys laugh. I'm just going to make you guys listen. These watch-alongs and reviews are worth listening to, are worth watching, man. I'm telling you. So when I got good background and good thumbnail and good texture and content, you know. I just overall love being right about a lot of things, you know. When it comes to wrestling related. But anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and begin AEW Rampage review here. As soon as it pulls up, I got a review up on the screen here. Or should I say my notes? Oh, man. Thing is so slow. And by the way, nobody watches NXT Level Up. There's a reason why nobody watches it. It's boring. There's no segments, no backstage interviews on there. It's just matches booked. That's it. I don't just want to see matches. I want to see good segments, good feuds. I want to see a good roster, good talent being used right on TV. It's being wasted and kept in Titus catering until their releases and shit. And we're going to begin the Rampage review for real this time. Rampage aired. Jim Ross, Escobar, and Tony Schiavone were on commentary. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus made their entrances. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry followed about their wins over Perry. It said they were done with him until Perry decided to nose in last week's AEW Atlantic Championship match. Jesus Christ, two of these women. I see two women on TV kissing. Jesus Christ, they're hot as fuck. I'm sorry. Get your mind out of the IW. This is a Rampage review, but oh my God. Woo! Wee! Oh man, they just took their clothes off. Oh God. Oh Lord, they just took their clothes off, man. I'm not even kidding. Dude. It's getting hot. It's getting hot on TV, man. These white girls just took their fucking clothes off, dude. They are just getting hot together, dude. I'm not even gonna tell you the rest. Shit, I see them. Anyways, Perry and Christian and Luchasaurus have cost him everything. Luchasaurus, with 3 years of his life, he will never get back. Said, and Luchasaurus have stacked the odds against him. He said he was going to take that power away from them. Perry said he wanted to face Luchasaurus in a steel cage match. Cage question: whenever Perry was overrated in the first place, he said that since Perry wouldn't go away, they were going to have to put him down for good. Cage accepted the cage match for Luchasaurus. Cage brought up Perry's parents. Just father, your old looks. Cage said, Perry grabbed him by the throat. Now, then, hit Perry with a cut. Cage set up a chair on Luchasaurus. Worked over Perry. Luchasaurus chokes Perry onto the chair. Sponsors Steel wins. Ross said on commentary. Cage started the fallen Perry. Backstage, Lacey there interviewed Ray Phoenix, Penta LZ, and Alex Abranez or whoever he is. Black said they need to be smart and take every opportunity their way. He said they must defend the AEW titles. They must defend the AEW Trios titles by any means necessary and take his own title. He takes his own title. If it's ring. So then we had in Cage with Prince Nana versus Dante Martin in the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament first round match. Escalator. The Ricky Starks versus Lance Archer tournament match that was scheduled for the show had been postponed to next week due to Archer attacking Starks on the AEW Dynamite this week. Cage caught Martin going for an early dive and ended up suplexing him at ringside, heading into a pitcher-in-pitcher break. So then Cage dominated. Cage dominated Martin and picked up a near fall coming out of the break. Cage got up for his drill finish. Martin threw a fire forearm shots to the head of Cage. Cage with a kick and followed up with a crossbody block that led to it. Everybody still in the chat? Better be listening because I'm going to review an AEW Rampage fast, and then I'm going to give you your AEW Saturday Night News. This is something you're really going to want to tune in to listen to. Now, by the way, Martin counted a DDT to a DDT. Martin threw rapid fight to the Cage. Martin caught a kick and followed the body block that led to a 2 count. Martin went to the apron for a move, but Cage cut him off. Cage brought Martin back inside the ring and set up for a suplex, which Martin avoided. Cage ended up on the floor. Martin ran and leaped into a springboard dive onto the Cage, and then rolled him back inside the ring. Martin up top and performed a top rope splash for a good near fall. A short time later, Martin put Cage down with a kick. Martin went for a 450 splash and rolled through. Cage avoided it. Cage put Martin down with a clothesline and picked up a near fall shortly thereafter. Cage put Martin on his back and slammed him down with Weapon X before scoring the pin. It was an entertaining match with Martin performing his usual flashy offense before taking the loss. It would be nice if we get to a point where Martin doesn't just look good in defeat in his Dynamite and Rampage matches. That's it. I suppose Cage and after taking recent losses in TNT and Ring of Honor TV title matches. By the way, I'm filing. I'm filling in. No, I'm just joking. But still, I'm guessing Cage needed this win after taking recent loss in TNT and Ring of Honor TV title matches. Lee Moriarty and Stokely Holloway were interviewed by Nair in the backstage area. Moriarty spoke about his confidence soaring. John Moxley. He said he wanted some gold. Hook walked into the picture with the FTW title belt over his shoulder while eating chips. Hook sized up Moriarty and walked away. Now, that built up we got this match with shows at ringside in AEW World Championship Tournament first round match. Now, Ross said Rush would have been a star in any decade that he had throughout his career. That's Bandido before the bell and him into the barricade a few times. Rush pulled out the cord and whipped Bandido with it. Inside. The referees checked on Bandido. The referees checked on Bandido and called for the bell. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on my network, but my network's not doing shit. I don't know what, but it's making my string load. It's making me mad. But anyways, the referee did check on Bandido. It called for the bell to start the match. Now, Rush, he actually teased hitting his Bulls horns finisher, but he stopped short and kicked back on it. Rush struck the poles in the ring. Rush continued to do a move off the top rope. What the hell was that? Ross asked. One of the other broadcast teams said he improvised and it worked out for him. Bandido came back and pressed Rush over his head for slamming him to the mat. Hold on, guys. I need to pause for a minute. My network's acting up. My network's acting up. Hold on a minute. My network is being stupid. Okay, it went back down. Stop doing that. Darn it. No, I did not enjoy SmackDown. I enjoyed Rampage. Damn it, I wish this network was going down, dude. Oh my God. In the hell? know if you guys can hear me or not. I'm going to reread what happened with this match between Bandido and Rush again, in case you guys didn't hear me, in case the stream was being stupid and acting up. I did say that the referee checked on Bandido and called for the bell to start the match. Now, Rush teased hitting his bull's horn finisher, but he stopped short and kicked Bandido instead. Rush struck his nose in the ring. Rush continued to dominate and perform a clunky move off the top rope. So then Ross asked, what the hell was that? One of the other team members said he improvised and it worked out for him. Bandido came back and pressed Rush over his head before slamming him to the mat. Bandido covered Rush for a 2 count. Rush came back with suplexes. Bandido caught him with a crucifix bomb. Bandido hit leg lariat. He hits a leg lariat. Both men stayed down. The fans and Josh applauded. Or should I say applauded. Bandido played to the ground and then chopped Rush in the corner. And then Rush came back. He came back and performed a pile driver for a near fall. Rush said it didn't look like Rush got all of the power driver. Joes slipped a chair to Rush, which distracted the referee. Josh tried to pull Bandido's mask off while the referee was caught up with Rush. Josh made entrance and punched out Josh, or should I say Joe's, at ringside. Bandido rolled up and distracted Rush and pinned him. Now, let's be honest. There were some rough moments, but there was more good than bad. If you guys know what I'm saying. The distraction finish was disappointing. Why not give Bandido a clean win instead of a horrible win? If you know what I'm saying. Even though, either way, the match was great. The footage aired from earlier in the day of Jack Hager interrupting a conversation between Claudio Castagnoli and Renee Paquette. As you guys know, Jack Hager and Castagnoli have a history between one another. Hager went for a handshake while saying they go way, way, way back. Way back in the WWE, I say. Hager said Castagnoli is an incredible wrestler and an even better sports entertainer. Hager told him to think about sports entertainment again. Hager stopped Castagnoli from responding and told him to think about it. We got Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero and Maria Shafir's Kayla Sparks, which, by the way, this match was a waste of time. This was the only match on the show that was not any good. This was the only match on the show that did not deliver. It was absolutely awful. It was. Rose's entrance was televised. The match was billed as an open challenge. Rose dominated and won the match with her version of Jaded. After the match, Jade Cargill headed to the ring with Kiera Hogan and Layla Gray. Hogan and Gray entered the ring and were taken out by Rose. Cargill entered the ring and ended up clearing Rose with a big boot to the head. Cargill left the ring and went after Rose and her crew, but security and referees stepped in. A quick squash followed by Cargill getting the better of Rose, who still managed to walk out with the TBS Championship belt. Does anyone care about the story of Rose stealing the belt? Whatever happened to the card that Rose stole from Cargill? Makes me wonder, man. Escobar hyped the AEW All-Atlantic Championship match as the main event, where Henry hosted his visual split screen segment with the participants in the main event and their sidekicks. I thought they was going to say side chicks. Huh! Escobar went into speed reading mode while pushing the following segments for AEW Dynamite promos from Jon Moxley and MJF. And Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. A promo for Samoa Joe, Ethan Page versus Bandido in the semifinal tournament match. Tony Schiavone interviewing Britt Baker and Saraya ahead of their AEW Full Gear match. The Acclaim's music video, interim AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm versus The Bunny in an Eliminator match. Death Triangle versus Dante Martin, Darius Martin, and A.R. Fox for the AEW Trios. As read through the AEW Full Gear lineup. So, the ring announcer, Justin Roberts, handled the introductions, should I say. He handled the introductions for the main event. The Orange Cassidy with Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor. Danhausen versus Lee Johnson with QT Marshall, Cole Carter, Nick Combarado for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship. Cassidy put his hands in his pockets and did the light kicks early. Carter climbed onto the apron and Cassidy knocked him off. But that allowed Johnson to take offensive control momentarily. Marshall climbed onto the apron and was pulled down by Best Friends. While the referee was distracted, Combarado pulled Cassidy off the apron and tossed him over the barricade. Marshall performed a pile driver on Danhausen of the ring steps during the picture-in-picture break. Beretta helped Danhausen to the back. Coming out of the break, Combarado ran Taylor into the ring post. Cassidy sent Johnson to ringside and then performed a moonsault onto the factory members. So then a short time later, Johnson distracted the referee while Combarado pressed Cassidy over his head. Beretta returned and ran down the ramp and speared Combarado. So when that happened, Taylor performed a dive from the ring onto factory members and then hugged Beretta. In the ring, Cassidy went for the orange punch, but Johnson dealt it and rolled Cassidy into a pin and used the ropes, basically, for leverage. But Cassidy kicked out. He kicked out, and then he came back moments later with a beach break and scored the win. After the match, Carter ran in and ate an orange punch from Cassidy. Best Friends and Cassidy had a group hug. Marshall thought about entering the ring, but the babyfaces spotted him, so he backed down. Carter got to his feet and was given a group hug by the babyfaces. Carter played to the crowd. Best Friends hoisted up Carter, and then Cassidy powerbombed him. Escobar hyped previously listed segments for Dynamite. Cassidy is an AEW star, but this still didn't feel like a strong main event simply because Lee Johnson wasn't being built up to feel like a credible challenger. The crowd still had fun with the Cassidy and Best Friends act. The Factory did a nice job of playing Fall Guys overall. The two tournament matches made Rampage feel a little more meaningful than usual. I think they were great, to be honest. I think the matches were great. Outside of the interference That's all I'm going to say to that. So that's going to do it for both your SmackDown and AEW Rampage review, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, man, if you want to see more reviews and want to be in the live chat for my watch-alongs every week, if you want to see me getting stream games every week as well, subscribe to the channel, man, and turn on that bell for notifications. Make sure you hit the like button on the stream as well. Hope you guys enjoyed SmackDown AEW Rampage review. If you did, let me know in the live chats. I'm gonna take a short break. I will be right back. And then when I come back, we are going to go over your WWE and AEW Saturday night news. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for me to go over your WWE and AEW Saturday night news. We're going to start with your WWE Saturday night news on Tiffany Stratton. So apparently she is set to make a WWE return very, very soon. It says here that Tiffany Stratton debuted in NXT last year on December the 28th. NXT's resident buff Barbie doll took some time to get used to WWE's way of going about things. She has been out of action due to injury, but will return to WWE soon. Tiffany Stratton has yet to make an impact in the company when it comes to competing in matches, but she makes up for it when it comes to being a queen on social media. Tiffany Stratton is currently out of action due to a head injury. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, Tiffany Stratton will be returning in a few weeks. That being said, Stratton hasn't left the spot, or the spotlight, should I say. Stratton hasn't left the spotlight. She regularly lights up her timeline with thirst trap photos. Stratton's last match saw her square off against Lights Out match against Wendy Chu on August 23rd, which Cole won. Regardless, we'll have to wait to see what WWE will have planned for her once she is back. What's y'all's take on Tiffany Stratton? Let me know. All right, moving on to the next news here. This one is on Big E. So apparently Big E is able to roller skate as he heals from career-changing neck injury. Big E had to overcome a lot of obstacles over the years throughout his time in WWE. He reached the top of the mountain by becoming the WWE champion last year as well, but it didn't last long. Kofi Kingston also shared an update on Big E's recovery as well. Back in March, WWE fans were in for a huge shock when Big E was dumped on his hip by Rich Holland via a belly-to-belly suplex. On the outside of the ring, Big E was said to have suffered a broken neck due to the bump. And that sadly ended up being the case. Big E then revealed that he will not be needing any surgery. Big E also shared a very unfortunate update regarding his recovery. Things are getting a bit better. Things are getting better for Big E now, thankfully. While speaking on the 10 count, Kofi Kingston talked about Big E's road to recovery. Kingston revealed that Big E's recovery is going well. He said, and I quote, "He's getting a lot better, too, for those who are concerned and whatnot. He was actually roller skating the other day, coming along, and he's in great spirits. Yeah, we're just kind of taking it one day at a time with him." End quote. Big E will also be content. He will also be content if he never wrestles again. It remains to be seen whether Big E will be able to make his return to the World Circle next year or not. Are you guys excited about Big E's eventual return? Let me know in the live chats, please. I really appreciate it. Your next WWE Saturday Night News we have is on The Undertaker. Haven't seen news on The Undertaker in years, to be honest. So apparently The Undertaker performance confirmed for WWE is seemingly confirmed for WWE Royal Rumble weekend. The Undertaker is regarded as one of the all-time great professional wrestlers. That is absolutely true. He has a long history with WWE and many stories to tell. He will now perform at the Royal Rumble weekend, but it won't be in the squared circle, unfortunately. The Undertaker is heading to San Antonio. WWE has announced that the next Undertaker One Dead Man show will take place on January 27th. The show will take place the night before the WWE Royal Rumble, according to the announcement. It will take place at the Tech Sports Center Plus Arena on January 27th. The Undertaker will reportedly share stories from his Hall of Fame career and take fan questions. So this is what it says here, and I quote. It says here, The Undertaker is coming to San Antonio. Mark Calloway, known to most fans as The Undertaker, is set to put on his Undertaker One Dead Man show at the Tech Pro Center Plus Arena on January 27th, one day before the WWE hosts the Royal Rumble. In the show, it continues to say in the show, The Undertaker will tell stories from his Hall of Fame career and take questions from fans attending the event. The Undertaker, who retired from professional wrestling in 2020 after more than 30 years in the business, was a 7-time WWE World Champion and a 7-time WWE Tag Team Champion. He also had a 21-match winning streak at WrestleMania. Tickets for the show goes on sale Tuesday at 10 a.m. Ticketmaster, a limited number of VIP tickets, which includes premier seating and a meet and greet with The Undertaker, who was born in Houston and lives in Austin. I'm assuming Austin, Texas, with his wife, former wrestler Michelle McCool, will also be available there. Undertaker has scheduled his shows around major WWE event weekends, such as WWE SummerSlam and WWE Clash of the Castles. So let's see what the legend has in store for all of us as wrestling fans. Now, question to you guys is, what do you think of this story? What do you guys think of the story, man? Let me know. Next WWE Saturday Night News we have is on a top indie name officially being on WWE's radar. Now, who that top indie name is, you guys are about to find out. It says here that WWE is always looking for the next big name to bring in. Gable Subski was recently spotted at a couple indie events, likely scouting talent for WWE. It seems that another popular name is now on WWE's radar. Casey Navarro lit up the ring for AEW, MLW, DeFi, House of Glory, and more indies. Now WWE has some big interest in bringing in the charismatic performer. That's the first time I've ever mentioned House of Glory. JD does commentary there, my only favorite podcaster. He does commentary there, along with Solomon Austin. Now, WWE has some big interest in bringing in the charismatic performer. Sean Ross Sapp reported behind his paywall that a WWE source has confirmed to him that the company is interested in Navarro. In fact, he might land a WWE tryout in December. It says here, and I quote, in a good piece of news, a WWE source contacted Fightful this week after our KC Navarro story dropped and let us know that not only is he on WWE's radar, that he is being considered for a private tryout next month. End quote. We'll have to see what's next for KC Navarro. WWE's interest can really change the game for anyone's career. Only time will tell how this interest might develop into a once-in-a-lifetime career opportunity. What is y'all's take on this situation? All right. Next, we have news on Triple H. So Triple H is actually planning to split up a WWE tag team. And this has a smile on my face because these two were never a tag team to begin with. And the tag team that he is referring to is the Dirty Dogs. This team of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Triple H made a lot of calls since taking over WWE's creative direction. A few of those directions reversed previous Vince McMahon booking. Appears that is not going to stop anytime soon. Robert Roode, who has been out of action due to injury, expected to return to the ring soon. One of the best heels in all of WWE is Bobby Roode. His latest televised match was in early April. However, a lot has changed since Roode last stepped inside a ring that could affect his position on the card. Maybe. According to PW Insider, WWE WWE has talked about Robert Roode making his return to SmackDown, expecting a Raw superstar. At the time of his injury, if that happens, then it's highly likely that this could mean the end of Roode's Dirty Dogs tag team with Dolph Ziggler. Given that Triple H is in charge of creative now, he may be looking to push Robert Roode as a prominent singles competitor like he did in NXT. Oh, you know Triple H is going to do that. So he's looking to push Robert Roode as a prominent singles competitor like he did in NXT, where Roode was the NXT champion. This move could end up being the best thing for him, which it will. Despite a successful run in NXT, Robert Roode's transition into the main roster has been underwhelming, says Ringside News. Although he is a former United States and Tag Team champion, he still hasn't reached the potential that fans expected from him. Oh, he will. Oh, he will. He's going to be one of the top heels. By the time he comes back, he's going to be one of the top heels on either brand. Whether it's SmackDown or Raw, I think he should go back to SmackDown, to be honest. SmackDown is where it made him better. Monday Night Raw made him worse. It's better for him to go to SmackDown, in my honest opinion. Could you imagine seeing a Robert Roode LA Knight feud in WWE? I know I could. That would be one of the more entertaining, great feuds in WWE. From two veterans who knows how to get it done with their gimmicks, and two veterans who knows how to get it done in the ring. I guess we'll have to see if this change could benefit Roode in the future. Are you guys happy to see Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode split up? Shout off in the live chats, please. Oh yeah, by the way, next we have news on what's booked for next week's SmackDown. I told you guys earlier in the SmackDown review I was going to go over what matches were booked for next week's episode of SmackDown. So, it says here apparently that WWE actually books World Cup matches and more for SmackDown next week. They announced a World Cup tournament to determine the next challenger. Luther's Intercontinental Championship last week on SmackDown. The tournament will continue next week on the Blue brand. For next week's SmackDown, WWE booked Sami Zayn versus Butch of the Brawling Brutes. Ricochet will take on Mustafa Ali in another World Cup qualifier as well. Braun Strowman and Santos Escobar made it to the next round earlier during the night. Nobody cares about Braun Strowman. I'm not even a fan of Braun Strowman at all. He is awful in the ring. His gimmick is terrible. I don't like Braun Strowman. I really don't. I don't want to see Braun Strowman on my television. I don't. Not even Omos. I hope they keep Omos off of TV. He is just as terrible as Braun Strowman. Plus, Shotzi Blackheart will take on Shayna Baszler. The match was booked after the Queen of Spades attacked Shotzi during a backstage segment. Shotzi is set to challenge Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship and Survivor Series War Games. The November the 8th, or 18th, should I say, 2022 edition of SmackDown emanates from the XL Center in Hartford, I'm assuming Hartford, Connecticut. So all the matches I just went over is the card for next week's episode of SmackDown. Moving on to the next WWE Saturday Night News. This one's on the WWE Tribute to the Troops. WWE Tribute to the Troops, 2022 spoiler results. I got some results for the Tribute to the Troops pay-per-view. They take the 20th annual Tribute to the Troops TV special following the conclusion of the Veterans Day edition of SmackDown and Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. WWE did not disclose the date for the special broadcast during SmackDown this week. Michael Cole did note that the show will air sometime next month. That's what it says. Don't ask me why it says it. This is y'all's official spoiler warning. I'm about to tell you guys what happened during the show. Courtesy of PW Insider, says Ringside News. So apparently Braun Strowman defeated LA Knight. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defeated Emma and Tamina Snuka. Sheamus, Ricochet, and Drew McIntyre defeated Imperium. Those were the results for WWE Tribute to the Troops 2022 pay-per-view or show. Seems like a pay-per-view to me. I don't know if you guys think it's pay-per-view or not. What's y'all's take on the story? I imagine you probably don't have any answers to the story. I mean, I really don't blame you. I mean, Tribute to the Troops pay-per-view or show is not really that serious, but it's a Veterans Day edition. I mean, it's what they do every year. So your next Saturday Night News we have is on Survivor Series. So WWE books a SmackDown Women's title match for Survivor Series War Games. And that SmackDown Women's title match happens to be Ronda Rousey. Because she's drowsy on the mic every week. Versus Shayna Baszler for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't know if this match matters to anybody that's watching the stream or what. But we're going to go over the match anyway. Or should I say the match that's booked for the pay-per-view. I just had it up here. I don't know what happened. Dude, I just had it up here. Where is it? Dude, I'm about to go crazy. This jump doesn't pop up on my screen. There it is. So WWE booked SmackDown Women's title match for Survivor Series War Games. Triple H became WWE's chief content officer and immediately introduced drastic changes to the overall product and presentation. The game renamed the annual Survivor Series Premium Live event to Survivor Series War Games. The Premium Live event will feature 2 War Games matches, a concept Triple H had already successfully experimented with during his time as a head booker of NXT. Another match was added to the card last night on SmackDown. Ronda Rousey will defend her SmackDown Championship against Shotzi Blackheart at the Big Show, the pay-per-view known as Survivor Series War Games. Shotzi Blackheart earned the title shot following a 6-pack challenge on SmackDown. WWE seemingly teased the participants of the men's War Games match during SmackDown last night when the Bloodline entered into a huge brawl with Drew McIntyre, Butch, Rich Holland, and a returning Sheamus, which I told you guys that was one of the best things on this week's episode of SmackDown. One of the best things. Survivor Series War Games takes place at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts on Saturday, November 26, 2022. So the card for Survivor Series so far, I can tell you right now for the men's War Games match, it's going to be Sami Zayn, so it's called Jimmy J. Uso, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, the Brawling Brutes, and Kevin Owens. Because I know Kevin Owens is going to be it's going to be Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is going to be the 5th member. There's no way. There's no way it's going to be Wade Barron. Wade Barron is filling in on SmackDown commentary for Pat McAfee. Because Pat McAfee is, he got married to his wife. And he's got other stuff scheduled. And that's why he can't be on SmackDown commentary right now. At least that's what we was all told. And for the Women's War Games match, it's going to be Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and 2 mystery partners, which I think are going to be Becky Lynch and Candice LeRae versus Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and 1 mystery partner, which is going to be Sasha Banks, in my honest opinion. And the SmackDown Women's Championship match will be Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi Blackheart. And I will not be shocked if I'm right again, like always. What's y'all's take on this story? Sound off in the live chat. There were some matches announced for Raw, which I really don't want to go over. I really don't care about Monday Night Raw right now. The last 2-3 weeks, Raw has been nothing but complete, utterly garbage. The last time I reviewed this when Elias made his return. That's the last time I reviewed Monday Night Raw. Since then, Raw has been absolutely terrible. Ever since of the word. I'm not even joking. Now, I really didn't want to go over this news, but I am anyway. So, unfortunately, there's belief that John Cena versus Logan Paul, if you guys even care, will be at WrestleMania. There's also belief that the match to Ringside News and to all these other sources in the community makes sense. Even the podcasters say the match makes sense. I can't see how that match makes sense. I wish somebody would explain to me how the fuck John Cena versus Logan Paul for WrestleMania 39 makes sense. I don't think it does. They don't even have any history. So why even bother booking this match? Really? How dumb is that? Why would you even book a match when A, they have no history, B, Logan Paul is not a professional wrestler, he's a celebrity, and C, nobody's going to watch it. Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching. The only match that they're going to watch John Cena in for WrestleMania 39 is Gunther defending his Intercontinental Championship against Cena himself. That's the match everybody's going to want to watch. Not Cena versus Logan Paul. Hell no. I'm out. I'll pass. I don't want to see it. Gunther defending his Intercontinental Championship versus John Cena. Edge versus Theory needs to happen for WrestleMania. I don't care. I don't care what these negative, irrelevant AEW, WWE geeks and these podcasters and journalists have to say. I don't care. Fuck them, man. They want to not believe me. They want to disagree with me. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Logan Paul just put on a stellar match against Roman Reigns at WWE Crown Jewel. The match was so well received by his peers that even John Cena acknowledged him. It looks like Logan Paul versus John Cena might be a possibility at WrestleMania 39, which I was hoping it wouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't happen. I don't want it to happen, and I don't want to see it. It's that simple. It's not a WrestleMania match to me. It's really not. I don't know why WWE is coming up with this dumb concept of bringing celebrities to WrestleMania. How is that in anybody's mind makes sense? I don't get that. I know it's about entertainment and it's about sports, but come on, dude. You can use professional wrestlers to be entertaining. You don't have to use celebrities to be entertaining. Come on, dude. Seriously, man. Dave Meltzer recently discussed the biggest possible matches for WrestleMania 39 on Wrestling Observer Radio. He knows that people worry about babyface and heel reactions way too much, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Actually, well, it matters to me. I'll tell you that. It matters to me, and it matters to everybody that's subscribed to my channel that watches WWE, watches AEW. Why is Dave Meltzer saying? What the fuck is Dave Meltzer saying that it really doesn't matter? Neil. I tell you, man, these dirt sheets, man, I tell you. Ringside News are not dirt sheets. Give me a break. Geeks are still out here saying that Ringside News are dirt sheets. No, they're not. The dirt sheets are Wrestling Observer Newsletter and Wrestling Observer Radio and all these other dirt sheets out here, man. Meltzer said that John Cena against Logan Paul makes a lot more sense than John Cena against Austin Theory. No. Actually, John Cena versus Gunther, Deville makes more sense. It's a fresh new match. You could build the John Cena Gunther storyline all the way to WrestleMania. If you have John Cena feud with Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, this would be one of the best longest feuds in WWE. I do not want to see John Cena versus Theory. I'm sorry. I do not want to see that. I want to see Cena versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther currently has no fucking opponents. It would not make sense to go with Cena versus Logan Paul because Gunther has no opponents. None. Now, if they brought Rick Boogs back, I could see that being a match. Rick Boogs versus Gunther. I could see that being a match. Or Madcap Moss versus Gunther. I could see that being a match too. But no. Cena versus Gunther is more of a WrestleMania caliber match, in my opinion. Given that John Cena can pick up big guys like Gunther. I want to see that. I don't want to see Braun Strowman versus Gunther. God, if we get Braun Strowman versus Gunther, dude, I am going to be like channel changing. I am legitimately going to pick up my remote, change the channel. I'm not joking. Nobody wants to see that shit. Nobody. I want to see Cena versus Gunther. That is the better match. This gives Gunther an opportunity to pick up a win. Pick up the biggest win of his career to retain his Intercontinental Championship over Cena. I think it would be better off to have Cena aiming to try to become an Intercontinental Champion. Cena hasn't never been in an Intercontinental Championship match before. Never been in an Intercontinental Championship match before. I think it would be a great idea. Great idea to book Cena versus Gunther in the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 39. I think that's going to Edge versus Theory. I also think it's going to steal a show. I would love to see Edge versus Theory. No John Cena versus Edge. We've seen that so many times already. We've seen it on Unforgiven. We've seen it at WWE Unforgiven back in 2006, I believe. We've seen it on Monday Night Raw in 2009. We've seen it at we've even probably seen it at the Royal Rumble. I know we've seen it at Unforgotten and seen it at Monday Night Raw. We've seen that match 3 times already. 3 times Edge versus John Cena match has been produced. Why would anybody want to see Edge versus Cena again? You mean tell me if they put Edge versus Cena, that would be Edge versus Cena number 4? We've watched Edge versus Cena number 1, 2, and 3. I don't understand people's logic here, man. I don't get it. I thought we were supposed to be about building new stars. I thought we were supposed to be about booking new matches instead of booking the same old matches every week. Why do you want to book Cena versus Edge? It's the same old match we've seen 3-4 different times. That's what I want to know. And then you wonder why nobody watches. And then you wonder why nobody watches WWE as much as they used to anymore. Same old shit all over again every week. That's why. Give me a break, man. So this is what Dave Meltzer said. He said, and I quote, I ought to say, I feel like saying blah, 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 but I'm not going to be rude and say that. People worry about babyface and heel way too much. Yeah, because babyface versus babyface doesn't make sense. Heel versus heel makes no sense. That's why people are worried. It's a dynamic that never made any sense. For years, it hasn't made any sense. It matters to me. It matters to majority of the people in the community. It does matter to people like JD. Talking about some Dave Meltzer got some nerve talking about saying it really doesn't matter. Kiss my ass, man. Seriously. I mean, people would cheer, whatever, whoever they want, Logan Paul, and that's fine. For mainstream, yeah, John Cena and Logan Paul, Roman Reigns and The Rock. Of course. Roman Reigns versus The Rock makes sense. John Cena versus Logan Paul, no. Does not make sense. It's two different nights. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, says Dave Meltzer. That's what Dave Meltzer said, but that's not what I'm saying. Probably means a lot more than John Cena against Austin Theory. Nobody will see John Cena versus Austin Theory anyway. I'd rather see Theory versus Edge than Cena versus the Theory. I'd rather see Gunther versus Cena than Logan Paul versus Cena. Simply because that gives Gunther another opponent for the Intercontinental Championship. Why would you put Cena up against Logan Paul when Gunther needs a fucking opponent for Intercontinental Championship? John Cena would be the perfect fucking opponent for that title. I'm telling you right now. Please, God, no. Please, God, no. Don't book Logan Paul versus Cena. God, no, please, no. Don't book that match. We don't want to see that. My source is Ringside News, and quote from Dave Meltzer, from when I went over with you guys. Ringside News, my sources exclusively reported that John Cena has spoken to higher-ups about doing something at WrestleMania 39. They also exclusively reported that Vince McMahon gave Cena his blessings to continue working with WWE whenever he can. Since then, rumors have started circulating as to who will face the 16-time champion. Logan Paul added few to the fight, reacting to the report with a shifty eyes emoji. Oh my God. This is scaring me to fucking death. Please, do not fucking put Logan Paul in another match, please. He needs to go back to doing his things as a celebrity. Go back to doing celebrity things. We don't need to see you on television. We don't need celebrities at a WrestleMania pay-per-view. We don't need celebrities on wrestling on WWE television for that matter, or AEW television. Period. Now, you can have celebrities sitting in the crowd, sitting in the arena, but don't have celebrities. Don't book celebrities in the match to where they can't wrestle and they don't know what to fucking do in the ring and shit. No, come on. Yeah, celebrities can buy tickets to attend a pay-per-view, to attend the show, but don't have them fucking be booked in a match to where they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what to do, and they don't know how to fucking wrestle and shit. Don't book them in matches knowing that they're not actual professional wrestlers. They're actual celebrities. Give me a break, man. Seriously. And didn't Logan Paul injure himself against Roman Reigns anyway? So, if he's injured, that means he's not going to be able to he's not going to be able to make it to WrestleMania. I'm not going to wish anything on nobody, but I hope they don't book him. I hope they don't book him against Cena. That is not the right direction. That is not a good decision at all. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that match at all. People may disagree with me now, but they'll agree with me sooner rather than later. People will have a better understanding as to why I don't want John Cena versus Logan Paul booked. Logan recently injured himself during his match against Roman Reigns and is expected to be out until April, which puts his return somewhere near WrestleMania. Jesus Christ, that scares me, dude. I hope we don't get Cena versus Logan Paul. That scares me, dude. Really. Do you guys want to see Logan Paul face Cena at WrestleMania 39? Well, for me, no. 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 Let me know in the live chats, guys, if you want to see Logan Paul face Cena at WrestleMania 39. I want to see Gunther face Cena at WrestleMania 39. That's a more worthy match than Logan Paul versus John Cena. Now, Gunther is seemingly saying that Brock Lesnar would be his biggest challenge. Please, I hope to God. Please, no. No. Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. And save that for next year, dude. That's a match they need to save for next year. Brock Lesnar will still be wrestling by then. He'll still be part-time by then. Brock Lesnar isn't going anywhere. Okay. They could save Gunther versus Brock for next year. I want to see Cena versus Gunther this year. That would be one of Gunther's longest feuds in WWE. All right. I'm moving on from this because I'm going to go crazy and over-exaggerate my fucking self if I don't get out of this fucking article. Jesus Christ. Moving on to the next news. This one is on Triple H again. Only this time, it's apparent that Triple H has completely not lost any interest in Judgment Day stable. This is Ringside News' WWE exclusive news article. So this is exclusive news. This is basically my WWE Saturday Night exclusive news, if you ask me. Says that WWE has a lot of things going on right now, especially after Triple H took control of the company's creative direction. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio's heel faction, Judgment Day, continues lighting up Monday Night Raw, but a recent report came out saying that they have fallen out of favor with Triple H. Damn. That quick? Damn, dude. Dang, bro. What happened? What happened, man? What happened to the people that said Judgment Day was the best things on Monday Night Raw? What happened? A report recently came out from WrestleVotes that said Triple H has changed his mind about the Judgment Day stable. It was reported that Triple H wasn't really cool with the heel faction to begin with. Guys, I was joking when I said what happened to the people that said Judgment Day were the best things on Raw. Judgment Day were indeed the best things on the Raw. Even JD said that on his podcast. Even I said that on one of my streams. Judgment Day were great. They were booked great. They were great on Monday Night Raw. I don't know how Triple H can turn down such a faction like this, man. I mean, I'm speaking truth, man. I'm not even being serious. I'm not even joking about this. Says here, and I quote, I know back in late July or early August, whenever this whole shit happened, I was told Hunter wasn't really cool with Judgment Day. This is what WrestleVotes said. Not personally, but he just didn't like the idea. But since he's grown behind it, and I think that they're going to be around for longer than anticipated. End quote. Like those are Ringside News, they asked around about this. They were told that this report is not accurate. A tenured member of the creative team confirmed to them that Triple H has been behind Judgment Day since he put them together and remains behind them in a really big way. Says Ringside News, or says the tenured member of the creative team. That's what the tenured member of the creative team said to Ringside News, guys. I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. This is real news, not fake news. Now, Ringside News circled back to the subject and asked again before it was 100% confirmed to them that Triple H never changed his mind or at all. He's always been behind them. Still is. So, I guess we'll all have to see what's next for the Judgment Day stable. Obviously, they are getting a lot of attention on WWE television, rightfully so. They're the best things on Monday Night Raw. I mean, duh. Clearly, the crowd, clearly, the WWE, AEW stings in the community love what Judgment Day is doing. Clearly. The only time will tell how far they will go before Triple H decides the stable has run its course. What is y'all's situation with Judgment Day? Sound off in the comments, please. I'm going to go a lot more quicker now because my battery looks like it's about to go out. And it's not even charging either. All right, moving on to the next WWE Saturday Night News. This one is on the SmackDown viewership. I really don't give a fuck about this week's SmackDown viewership. I'm going to go over it with you guys anyway, in case anybody here that's watching the stream does care. WWE continued their stories this week on SmackDown with fallout after WWE Crown Jewel. How did the viewership pan out on Fox? According to Spoiler TV, November the 11th episode of WWE SmackDown drew 2.114 million viewers with a 0.5 in the 1849 demographic. So that tells you right there that SmackDown viewership jumped back to over 2 million this week. There were still some terrible parts on the show. I mean, that doesn't, we can't take that away. We can't take that part away. Even though the decent part about SmackDown was the brawl between the Bloodline and the Brawling Brutes, LA Knight, Bray Wyatt confrontation, and the returns of Viking Raiders Sarah Logan. That was it. That was it right there. Everything else was just flat out just boring. Everything else on that show was just boring, dude. Absolutely boring. The November the 4th episode of WWE SmackDown drew 1.970 million viewers with a 0.40 in the 1849 demographic. October 28th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 835,000 viewers on FS1 with a 0.23 in the 1849 demographic. October 21st's episode of WWE SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.163 million viewers with a 0.5 in the 1849 demographic. October the 14th episode of SmackDown brought in viewership of 2.129 million viewers with a 0.5 in the 1849 demographic. October the 7th edition of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.1333 million viewers with a 0.5 in the 1849 demographic. The September 30th episode of WWE SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.06 or 0.76 million viewers with a 0.50 in the 1849 demographic. September 23rd episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.385 million viewers with a 0.55 in the 1849 demographic. September 16th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.086 million viewers with a 0.45 in the 1849 demographic. September the 9th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.217 million viewers with a 0.5 in the 1849 demographic. September 2nd edition of SmackDown drew an overnight average of 1.952 million viewers with a 0.4 in the 1849 demographic. Now, this was a pre-taped episode prior to WWE Clash at the Castle. So we have to see if they can pull the ratings up again, which I think they will. Because next week's SmackDown is going to be better than this week's episode of SmackDown, in my honest opinion. Just because of the good matches that are booked for the show. Hopefully, we get to see Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt on the show for next week again. If they're on there, then that's a sign that the ratings will go up for the show. They're that good. Now, moving on to the next WWE. Moving on to the next WWE Saturday Night News. This is your last WWE Saturday Night News. This one's on Robert Roode. So Robert Roode was backstage at SmackDown this week. Bobby Roode has had a very inconsistent timeline in WWE television for quite some time now. While he returned to in-ring action in WWE after almost a 2-month absence, he disappeared shortly afterwards. Now, it seems Roode was backstage at SmackDown this week. He wasn't used. As previously reported, Roode uploaded a picture of South Lake in Birmingham, Alabama, on Instagram towards the end of September, noting that he was suffering from injuries. It was then noted that Robert Roode is set to make his return to the squared circle soon. According to Fightful's paywall, Robert Roode was backstage at Friday Night SmackDown this week, but it's unclear why he wasn't used. It says here that Robert Roode is backstage at SmackDown. We don't know if he is to be used, end quote. It remains to be seen what WWE will have planned for Robert Roode, as fans simply want him to succeed on the main roster. Odds are Triple H has some plans for him, and only time will tell if those will be glorified or glorious, should I say. Are you guys looking forward to seeing Roode back in action? I know I am, man. I don't know about you guys. So that's going to do it for your WWE Saturday Night News. Now we're going to go over your AEW Saturday Night News here. Here we go, guys. Those of you that AEW fans, baby, here listening. We're going to start with the news on Andrade El Idolo. Apparently, Andrade El Idolo announces his first public appearance since AEW sent him home after Sammy Guevara brawl. This is a major development here, major news here. So, Andrade El Idolo debuted in AEW last year after a very subpar time on the WWE main roster. Fans were simply happy to see the Mexican star in AEW. At first, I thought I wasn't going to say it right, but I ended up saying it right. Hoped he would succeed in AEW. That was not to be. He is also set for his first public appearance since being sent home after brawling with Sammy Guevara. Things have not been going well for AEW for the past couple of months. Andrade El Idolo was also involved in a backstage altercation with Sammy Guevara. He was also sent home before AEW Dynamite. Amidst his absence, the Mexican star took to Twitter and announced that he would be in New York at the big event, EXS. It says here, and I quote, "Hello, New York. See you tomorrow. Nos vemos. Mañana." End quote. That's what it says. Andrade El Idolo even made his way to AEW Dynamite to fight with Sammy Guevara. He even deleted a tweet about quitting AEW if he wanted to. I guess we'll have to see if Andrade will return to AEW television or not. It remains to be seen. What's y'all's take on Andrade El Idolo in AEW? I think his return remains, it's safe to say his return remains to be a mystery at this point. Moving on to your next WWE. Not WWE. I keep getting it mixed up. Moving on to your next AEW Saturday Night News. Now, this particular AEW Saturday Night News is on the Rampage viewership. Yes, the Rampage viewership fell to an all-time low, but despite that, Rampage was still a decent show this week. And I don't care what the negative Nimroded AEW negative freaking marks in the community have to say about it. I don't care what the negative WWE marks have to say. I don't even care what these fake podcasters and journalists and freaking sources have to say about this freaking show. I don't even care what the wrestling YouTubers have to say about the show. I'm talking about the negative ones, not the positive ones. AEW continues plugging away with their weekly Rampage program. They presented another live show this week on TNT, but their Friday night's time slot got in the way once again. According to Alfred, I remember JD saying that on one of his card streams. Alfred. Alfred is a bitch. Well, not this Alfred, anyway. But Alfred Canoa, the November the 11th episode of AEW Rampage, brought in 432K viewers, with 138K of those fans being in the 18 to 49 demographic. So 455,000 fans tuned in to watch the November the 4th episode of Rampage. The show also drew a .14 18 to 49 demographic. The October 28th episode of AEW Rampage on TNT was watched by 378,000 viewers on average, including about 158,000 aged 18 and 49, Jesus Christ, or a 0.12 rating in the 18-49 demographic. AEW Rampage brought in 480,000 on October 21st. They also brought in 0.13 in the 18 to 49 demographic. Now, the October 7th episode of Rampage brought in 458,000 viewers with a .17 and 18 to 49 demographic. September 30th episode of AEW Rampage brought in an overnight average of 472,000 viewers with a .16 18 to 49 demographic. September 23rd episode of Rampage brought in a fast national average of 510K viewers, 213 controlling of those viewers in the 18-49 demographic. September the 16th episode of AEW Rampage brought in 470,000 viewers. They have also drew a .14 18 to 49 demographic. The September 9th edition of AEW Rampage brought in a fast national audience of 393,000 viewers. 163 trillion of those viewers were in the 18-49 demographic. September 2nd edition of AEW Rampage brought in 485,000 viewers with a .16 18 49 demographic. This was their live go-home episode before AEW All Out. August 26th episode of AEW Rampage brought in 431,000 viewers with a .48 in the 18-49 demographic. August 19th episode of Rampage brought in a vast national number of 461,000 viewers, with 442 of those viewers in the 18-49 demographic. August 12th edition of Rampage was taped. They brought in a viewership of 508,000, a .17 18-49 demographic. August 5th episode of Rampage brought in a fast national audience of 431,000 viewers with a point, or should I say with 179 controlling of those in the coveted 18 to 49 demographic. This was a live episode, not pre-recorded, as it is on most weeks. We have to see if AEW's B show can pull things up. They're certainly putting in enough work to build good cards, but they are also dealing with a difficult time slot as well. What's y'all's take on the AEW Rampage viewership for this week? Let me know. All right. Your next AEW Saturday Night News I have is on AEW adding Isaiah Swerve Scott match. The Isaiah Swerve Strickland match to Dynamite next week. Well, he used to be called Isaiah Swerve Scott in WWE. That's what I mentioned in the first place. Now, the Acclaimed are set to face off against Swerve in Our Glory at Full Gear to defend their AEW World Tag Team Championships. However, it seems Anthony Bowens of the Acclaim can't wait till Full Gear to get his hands on Swerve Strickland. Strickland has been tormenting Billy Gunn and the Acclaim for the past few weeks. A few weeks ago, we saw Billy Gunn kidnapped by Strickland, who was still salty after his loss at Full Gear, and blamed Gunn for it. And you believe it? Yes, folks, he blamed Gunn for it. Recently, one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champion, Anthony Bowen, shared a picture of Swerve Strickland resting his disgust for him after what he did to Billy Gunn. Bowens went on to say that he desperately needs to fight Strickland. It seems AEW president granted Bowens' wishes when he announced a first-time ever singles match between Bowens and Strickland on November 6th as AEW Dynamite. Next week's episode of AEW Dynamite would see the two butt heads ahead of their title match at Full Gear. Swerve and Acclaim and Acclaim will square off for the third time at Full Gear for the AEW World Tag Team Championship on this week's episode. The Acclaim join forces with FTR to defeat Swerve and Glory and the Gun Club. The full card for next week's episode of Dynamite is Claudio Castagnoli and Danielson versus Jericho and Sammy Guevara. We have Death Triangle versus Top Flight and AR Fox for the AEW Trios Tag Team Championships. AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament semifinal, Ethan Page versus Bandido. I told you. What did I tell you? Told you it was going to happen. Told you they were going to book. I told you they were going to book Ethan Page versus Bandido. I told you guys this yesterday. Told you. Toni Storm versus The Bunny is not for Storm's interim AEW Women's title. Okay, so then what is it for? What is it, a singles match? Clearly, it's not an eliminator. Clearly, it's not an eliminator match. All right, moving on to your last AEW Saturday Night News that I have for you guys. This one is on Thunder Rosa. It's been a while since I haven't seen news on Thunder Rosa. So apparently, Thunder Rosa is now able to jog for the first time in months. Thunder Rosa is one of my favorite AEW female talents. Jamie Hayter is my main favorite. I ain't crush on Jamie Hayter, man. I don't know if you guys know, but I actually got a huge crush on Jamie Hayter, man. Just throwing it out there. Thunder Rosa is one of the best in-ring female pro wrestlers to ever stepped inside the squared circle. She used to be well respected and well loved in the community as well. She also shared some positive news regarding her return. Rosa was pulled from AEW All Out due to a back injury. In fact, it was said that she couldn't even walk in the end. Toni Storm won at AEW All Out, which should have been won by Jamie Hayter, really, and became the interim AEW Women's Champion. While speaking during a recent interview with the Wrestling Perspective podcast, Thunder Rosa revealed that she recently resumed jogging for the first time in 3 months. It says here, and I quote from Thunder Rosa, "I'm doing really well this week. We made some good progress. I started running for the first time in almost 3 months. So this physical activity is getting a little bit bigger. And I'm allowed to do a lot more stuff than before. I'm not allowed to lift yet. I'm not allowed to do a lot of stuff. I'm not allowed to wrestle, but we're making progress in the fact that I can actually jog for 7 minutes on and off. For me, it's huge because I have not been able to do that." And then she goes on to say that I have spoken to other patients that have had similar injuries that I have at the place that I go to. For a lot of us, everybody's different. It's hit and miss. When you're talking about lower back injuries, always, you have to be very careful because you can injure it again. You utilize your back for everything. I'm really hopeful things will continue to progress the way they are. She said we're taking our time and we're taking all the measures that I need to take to stay safe. Like I said, I'm really thankful that I'm allowed to go and do signings still. But I have to, again, very equal because my back gets irritated really easily. Then she says, I don't want to get a huge setback that is going to take me from doing the basic stuff, cleaning my house, taking care of the walking dog, taking care of walking my dog and all that stuff. Because you can really re-injure yourself. But I still don't have a set time yet. Again, I'm working really hard to get better physically and mentally. Because mentally, injuries can take a toll. She added, I'm really happy that I can do that. I shared that with my family yesterday, and they're all excited. The fact that I can do more physical activity to me is huge because when that is taken away from you, you are forced to be sitting at home or to be chilling. I'm just cooking like a maniac. It's hard on any athlete. But I'm really excited that I know when I come back, I'm going to come back a lot stronger in many aspects than when I left before. End quote. Thunder Rosa also hopes to return in January. January is my birthday, by the way. It's my 24th birthday, January is. Oh, we'll have to wait and see if she will be able to beat Toni Storm once she does return. Would you guys want to see Thunder Rosa back? Sound off in the live chat. I don't know why they would put Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm. They're both baby faces. It don't make sense to put baby face versus a baby face. It would be a good match. Don't get me wrong, but really, babyface versus a babyface? Come on, man. There's an issue with that. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here, man. That's gonna do it for your WWE and AEW Saturday Night News. I clear my throat because something went up my throat. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed the AEW SmackDown review, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, let me know in the comment below what you think of the review and what I need to do to get better. I just want to know from you guys whether I did good or not. I want to know overall how good I'm doing on my channel, man. Have I improved? Do I improve a little bit more? What? Let me know something. I would appreciate it. Your likes and your support for the channel helps out in a lot of ways possible. So, thank you guys for joining me for both reviews and for your WWE and AEW Saturday Night News. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for your WWE and AEW Sunday Night News, because my Sunday Night News live stream will be live tomorrow night. And I may be streaming Xenoverse 2 tomorrow. I don't know. I may have enough money to buy the Hero of Justice pack. I don't know. If I don't, I'll have to wait till I get paid to buy that shit. Anyways, I'm getting out of here, man. You guys have a safe rest of your weekend, man. And like I said, I'll see you on the live chat for my AEW Sunday Night News live stream. That's if anybody that subscribed to my channel, any of my IWN community fans is going to be there. Let's hope they will. But I'm out of here. Stay safe always, guys. See you guys later.